Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You gotta eat what you kill. You gotta go out there, you gotta hunt for your meals.
We all have that ability to connect with people, to be that motivational person in somebody's life.
You gotta let people know there's certain lines you don't cross, and that there's gonna be consequences if you do.
Man up.
If you are an adult and you are in a relationship, that person's emotions are not your responsibility.
Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
The devil, during slavery, destroyed the masculinity or manhood of the so-called Negro. No man. No man. Right now you got to be trained all over again to be a man.
When someone is obligated to do something, it is binding upon them to do it. And failure to do it causes reaction.
Man up.
But shall make you rich. I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
If that people knew their glorious past, if that people knew their glorious past, if that people knew their glorious past, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You want to tell me about yourself? Go get your friends. I'll tell you who you are based on who your friends are.
Don't just live and die. That's an ugly existence. Make your life matter, make your life count. Live a life where people can actually mourn you for the things you left behind, not just because you were around and existed.
We need strong black nuclear family.
Yes. Yes.
That's what it is. Mother, father, son, daughter, all in the same house with a focus on the family unit as a whole.
We had Tulsa, Atlanta, New Jersey, Detroit. We had Rosewood. We had Black Wall Streets all over.
The Republicans aren't for us, but the Democrats aren't for us either. And we should have no alliance to any political party. We only have alliance to what is in our own best
A
interest.
place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
At the end of the day, as men in the community, we must stand together and be counted, because people look to us for guidance, leadership, and protection. And if we are not about that business, we are not on our job. Here we have grown-ass man conversations in the spirit of that purpose. Anthony Malcolm, Bobby Drake, Major Gage, we are. This is Manifestations 2020.
Manifestation. Man up. Manifestation.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Yeah, what's going on? What's up? What's up? Manifestations 2020 in the building. What's cracking?
Whoop whoop.
Yo. We
in this thing like an unborn baby. What's up?
That's what it is, man. I am your host, Major Gage, and I got my mans in them with me, the prestigious Bobby Drake and the very, very political Anthony Malcolm. And I am Major Gage. We are Manifestations 2020. What's good, fellas?
Yo.
What's going on? What's going on?
It's another beautiful day in the Manifestations hood, baby.
Facts, it sure is, man. And I normally pass it to y'all to go ahead and make the announcements real quick before we get into it, which I will also do. But I just had to go ahead and just make an announcement of my own real quick because I'm so excited about this. I got my mans in them Outcasts that have been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, ushered in by Donald Glover and the stage full of the Dungeon family. Brothers,
nice.
This right here,
that's huge.
That's what I'm talking about, man. I love to see it, man. I love to see it. Outkast is one of those groups, man. I don't think that people even realize just how influential they were. Growing up in the 90s, they were the soundtrack to my life in many an instance. I still remember back when I was a kid, playing Get Up, Get Out, and Get Something, and me and my man Carlos at the crib just politicking on how we could apply that song to our lives. You know what I'm saying? And like Southern Playalistic Cadillac music was just everything to me. And then they just stepped it up. I think their best album was probably AT-Aliens. For me, it's either AT-Aliens or Aquemini. I mean, just masterful music. And they did so much for the genre in terms of just taking it to different places, and really, really being creative and coming outside the box. When I think Outkast, I think of songs like Hootie Hoo and Spotty Dopalicious and, AT-Aliens, Mainstream. I mean, these guys, dude, I wrote better when I listened to Outkast, period, point blank. They are, in my opinion, and I said this in front of a room full of New Yorkers, you know what I'm saying? They are my greatest group of all time, period, point blank, done. I put them over Wu-Tang. I even put them over Public Enemy because they have more longevity than Public Enemy. You understand? I put them over NWA. I put them over everybody. You know what I'm saying? Outkast was amazing. Shout out to those brothers. That is a well-deserved induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Y'all can go ahead and cook. I just had to go ahead and get that off my chest because I was just too excited about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What y'all think?
That's real dope. I saw that. And, getting a group of people, well, I should say getting a group of MCs all into the Hall of Fame like that have been going really against the system because they've been preaching a lot of knowledge and have done a lot of an awakening work over the years through some very hypnotic and rhythmic type of beats that were very soothing to the ear and to the soul and the body. So shout out to those guys for doing it. Now, as far as they are an amazing group, definitely the top 5 group of all time.
Yeah.
But in my, because everybody has their own list of what's the greatest. There's no wrong or right. It's just how that music affects your life and who was the number one prime example of that. And that's how you list. That's how people make their lists based on the impact that they had on their personal life.
Of course.
For me, Outkast had a huge impact on my life, but the group that had the most was Tribe Called Quest.
Okay.
And then I would have to put the Roots above Outkast, and that's just me because personally, the Roots really got me through Baltimore when Baltimore was real gritty in the 90s. Baltimore was hell because Baltimore was pretty much like one of the top 10 cities of murders, you know what I'm saying, at that time in the 90s. Like Baltimore was real ruthless.
Yeah, it was.
I stepped in Columbia, but I always partied with my homeboys that were from Baltimore. We used to go out there. Seen a lot of wild stuff that happened, but I mean, during the time that every black person, majority of every black person have pretty much been around the environment of the city, inner city, and things like that. And to have great music like that steer you away from, going down that path, it really meant a lot. And I think that's why you have the groups like Outkast, Tribe Called Quest, and the Roots. Also, over on the West Coast, one of my top favorites is what's that group called? 93 Souls of Mischief.
Souls of Mischief was sick.
Yeah, those are my top 4 of groups, MC groups, and we need to bring that back, man. Shout out to I'm about to end it with this, but shout out to the Coastal Contra.
Coast Contra.
Yeah, man. Oh man, those dudes are phenomenal, man.
Yes,
sir. And I didn't even know the 2 twins are their father was Razkaz, and that's one of my MCs that I used to listen to heavy back in the day.
Me too.
Deidre Moses, that's their boys.
Yeah, so I land my plane on that.
Yeah, Bobby Drake, what you got?
No, absolutely. I saw the news and I was very, very happy for them, very, very proud for them. Definitely a big moment. Not to take away, I'm not saying that to take anything away from the moment. I would never do that. I could never do that, but I would never even intend to do that. But me personally, I don't put a whole bunch of stock in awards like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because I know that there's some people that when they get those moments, that's like, their crowning achievement. And I don't begrudge anybody that works hard and is paid their dues and given their respect by anybody. I don't begrudge anybody that, because when you work hard, when you put your blood, sweat, and your tears into your craft, what you do, especially your art, because we all know all 3 of us on the stage are artists. Some of us still active, some of us haven't done in a while. But if you're an artist in any capacity, whether it's the physical arts, like with painting and drawing or sculpture, or it's the musical arts or poetry, the written arts, whatever, or art in any form, you understand that all art is personal. It comes from a deep place inside you. That's what makes it so special. That's what makes it connect with other people, because it's what's inside of you being expressed in a manner that only you can, and other people who can relate or who can understand are able to touch into that as well too. So it feels good to see other people give you your props for your work. At the same time, I've always been of the opinion that we should be the biggest ones celebrating our icons. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame should never be a bigger deal to us than our own institutions giving us those kind of props, whatever, because these same institutions give other groups and people awards and all kind of accolades over others. And many times we sit back and like, so this was up, that was up, and that was up. And this is who you went with? Word?
Yeah. Facts.
Okay. But again, that's not to take away or diminish the moment, because that is a group that always should have been in any award show that can cover, that it can include the hip hop, rap genre or music as a whole, should definitely feature Outkast in that. Right. And you're right, they're very major. I definitely think that they are one of the biggest rap acts or groups in music, period. Because they're very big for the South. They're a big period. But I think one of the things that made them so amazing is where they came from. They came out from the South at a time when the only music you were hearing down here was that trunk rattling, swaying and swaying, that chop and screw, that slow melodic wordplay type joint. Back when the South got a lot of flack for not being as lyrical as complex as the North. Didn't necessarily have the allure that the West Coast had. It didn't have the polish that the Midwest had.
Right.
And the South never cared. They were just doing their thing and they still made an impact. But even then, Outkast was able to come out from that and still be undeniably Southern. You were never going to confuse Big Boy or Dre for being anything else but Southern. Right. But their style was all their own. They showed that the South does have lyrics, does have complexity, does have all things we love in these other areas, but they also were unique and definitely helped to usher in a lot of styles that we are only now really seeing today. They weren't afraid to be eccentric in a time when eccentric wasn't the norm, and from a place that was very much adamant about pushing a specific sound and a brand. And they still got respect from everybody for doing it at the same time. So they did a lot of things. They opened up a lot of doors. They paved the way. and they haven't dropped an album since 06, right? They kicked off in the 90s, but there has never been a decade since they came out where, as a group and as individuals, they weren't relevant. Right. The 90s, the aughts, the 10s, the 20s. Right now, if rumors started leaking about an Outkast project coming out, streets going crazy. Streets going crazy like they never left. So they have, like you said, that longevity. They have that relevance, and they have the adamant fan base. They drop a project in 2060, the streets gonna go crazy for it. It's rare to get that, but that's what happens when you are elite and the best at what you do. So salute to them brothers, man.
Shout out to those brothers, man. You know what I'm saying? I really, really rate them. You know what I mean? As the top of the top of the top, you know. So without further ado, you know, we got to start off on a positive note before we get into the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It is always some bullshit, you know. And speaking of bullshit, is Mr. Bullshit himself. Former NFL star Antonio Brown arrested for attempted murder. We have to talk about this, man. And I'll just give just a real quick overview. We're not going to get too much into this because some people, you know, it's almost like they're not even worth discussing, but you kind of have to discuss it because everybody's discussing it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get too much into this, but according to an arrest warrant detailing the shooting, Brown is accused of grabbing a handgun from a security staffer after the boxing match and firing 2 shots at a man he had been in a fist fight with earlier, per ESPN. So that's basically what the attempted murder charge is about. And if you've seen the video, you see him out there fighting and, you know, kicking at people and all this stuff. And he did appear to grab a gun from the video, and then we saw him running with it, and apparently he fired it at someone. And, you know, we know that that's just not the way that things are supposed to go, especially when you're a person who's on the level of a former NFL superstar like Antonio Brown. How did you think you were going to be missed? You thought you were going to do that and they were just going to walk away and it was just going to be all good? I mean, what is this guy thinking? I don't know, man. What do y'all make?
Yeah, dude's been garbage, and I had shared that article when I ran across it.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, Antonio Brown is a person who is from the South. He's from, you know, if you're from Miami, he's from here, yeah. He's home team, right?
He went to New Orleans.
Yeah. So me being that I was born in New York, raised all the way up to my teens in Miami. And then for my high school and college years, I was up in Maryland. All right. Yeah. So being that I've been in both part of the region, from the South and the North, the mentality is a little different, right? Even though you have ignorance, you have up north ignorance, you have down south ignorance. You kind of know how people react to their specific ignorance based on their region.
Yeah.
And down here, you know, I notice a lot of Southern dudes, they have like this, it's like a flossing ego type of image and attitude that they have. So when it comes to a lot of Florida dudes, because Florida guys, to give them credit, Florida guys, wherever we go, we get chosen. We get chosen. Like Florida dudes is like some of the top tier dudes. And I'm talking about like South Florida, really, right? It's some of the top tier dudes because our game piece is so on point, precise, our swag, the way we dress, everything is just, women gravitate to it and fellas respect it wherever we go. We have that type of stigma and impact on a lot of people, right? And a lot of people know this and they talk about it, especially women. So when you have that type of mentality and you understand that type of imagery, you can't lose no fight. It's like you have to be a person that wins every fight, especially if you're a loud talker, just like Antonio Brown is. He talks a lot of shit, But he always had that one. We always had that one quote, right? You talk shit, you gotta back it up.
Yeah.
And he got his ass whooped. And thing about it is that's where the ego come in. And this is just in general in all communities, all regions. When a black man gets leveled out for talking shit and embarrassed, the only way he can find redemption is to grab a gun.
Yep.
And a lot of times they grab guns and then they put themselves in a way worse situation than they was if they just walked away and said, you know what, you got that. I'll probably get the next one, but you got this one. And walk away and leave it that. One of the most powerful quotes, and I land with this, one of the most powerful quotes, and I love John Singleton because he's always put information in all his movies. And one of the most powerful quotes from one of his movies is Friday, when Pops got with Ice Cube and he said, you think grabbing a gun make you a man? It don't make you a man. You know, you put that gun down, pick up your fist, fight with that. You may win some, you may lose some, but at least you live to fight another day. When I say everybody that watched that movie knows that quote, and that's how impactful that quote has been, and it has saved a bunch of people's lives. And I think if he would have applied that to himself, because everybody in the black community done saw Friday, if Antonio Brown had applied that to himself, he wouldn't be in the situation that he's in. And as a public figure, you have to be very cautious about engaging in shit like that, because even when you win, you still lose because now you got a lawsuit on top of you because you're a celebrity. And I land my plane on that.
Yeah, well said. Bobby Drake, sprinkle something on it.
So this is what you would consider to be a perfect storm of bullshit, right? So, God, first off, and again, this is not to exculpate him or, you know, to exonerate him of anything, but as I said before, when we spoken about him, I do believe that Antonio Brown does suffer from some degree of CTE, and that it really is affected not just his personality, but as is typically the case, his ability to make decisions and to respond rationally. And I believe that's resulting in a lot of PTSD-like behaviors and effects from him. Okay. So when I see things like this, I have a lot of compassion because I see a dude, again, you know, that needs help, needs assistance, but he's got paper, he's got fame and celebrity. So who really has the means to really, you know, rein him in? Because everybody wants to eat off Buddy. So you don't want to piss the bag off because then you shut off. So it's the same thing with the Kanye situation. Who's going to check him and risk, you know, being cut off from the spout? Right. So it's a damned if you do, damned if you do situation. But with that being said, I wouldn't now. The issue is, of course, because of that, anytime he gets into something, it's easy to say, "Oh, there goes AB being AB." But this is a case I would definitely encourage folks to really keep their eyes and really understand, because it's not as cut and dry as the media is making it seem. So the dude that he got into it with, there is some history between the two of them.
That is true.
So there was a dust up heading, I'm not sure what point it came, but they knew each other. And there's some conflict where the dude that he got into it with was a jeweler, and he's also an activist. In fact, if you saw the Super Bowl where Kendrick performed, he's actually the guy, if you remember, there was a part during the performance where on the Cadillac, somebody out of the blue pulled out a free Sudan or whatever flag. Buddy is actually the dude that was holding the flag. And so he was a performer, whatever. He was supposed to be on the field for that. He didn't get that authorized to do, so he decided he was going to take advantage of that. So Buddy has a little problematic in him too.
Yeah.
But suppose there was an issue where he's a jeweler, and I don't know if he saw Antonio's chain and liked it, and they was holding it, whatever, or Antonio saw his chain or whatever and was wearing it. But somehow there was a mix-up about a chain that Antonio Brown was wearing, who belonged to. Antonio told police overseas in Dubai and Oman that this man was trying to steal my chain or whatever, and Buddy got arrested and was detained over there. So when they came back over here, they were both at the boxing match or whatever. They saw each other. And so according to Antonio, people were trying to snatch the chain off of him or deprive him of the chain, whatever. They were saying that belonged to the guy in Tambu. Antonio saying it belonged to him.
Yeah.
He felt like they were trying to jump him, and so he went and grabbed the security's pistol because he didn't walk in the venue with a firearm. He got it from the security. He took the piece off the security, and that's when he fired the shots and took off, which he shouldn't have done. So it's a whole lot of it's a whole cluster what's going on in the mix. But
yeah, there's a lot of shit going on. But the last part you said, like, you know, you go and take the gun off the security and you go shoot. Come on, man. What the fuck you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get what you're saying.
No,
but I don't get what you're saying.
And again,
you know,
I'm not excusing, but no one's saying that this is valid. But again, this is a dude who already it should have been established by now if it hasn't. Buddy does not. Buddy's playing blackjack with a deck of Uno cards. He ain't all that. So this is not a person that you want to unnecessarily go and, you know, push off the ledge in the first place. This is a dude, you shake his hand, how you doing, whatever. But whatever he's guilty of, he gonna have to deal with that in court.
Yeah.
And ultimately, I hope that whatever happens, it results in him getting some treatment or getting some evaluation, so it can be out there and some real actionable steps can be taken. Because I really want these dudes, when they have these conditions, to get taken seriously, and it shouldn't have to result in something like Buddy, who tried to storm the NFL office and committed suicide, or like Junior said, I mean, it shouldn't take something drastic like that to get people to see these people need help. It's not funny and it's not cool when they spazzing out. They need help, and it needs to start getting taken seriously. So that's where I'm at with it.
I get your point, Bobby. I get your point, CTE, because like I say, I always say two things can be true. CTE does play an important role in all football players' lives, but we also got to be very mindful of being on case-by-case basis. And the reason why I say that is anybody that knows Antonio Brown from Florida, this man has always been arrogant and off the screws from get-go before football. You know what I'm saying? So it enhanced what he got going on. It's like I said, it's a niggish Miami mentality. It is what it is. Everybody have it. Yeah, like Trick Daddy was on that shit too. Like you getting the convert to the Trick, but the real ruthless Trick was the real ruthless Trick back in the day. You feel me?
I remember that guy.
Yeah, so you're getting the conversion of these people, right? So I just want to put it in perspective. It's case by case because some of these people, a lot of it is their personality that has been heightened through money, fame, that takes it to another level of ignorance that is just diabolical. And that's where he's at. And when you say we do want our brothers to get treatment, we're not here bashing brothers and sisters on this platform. We're just simply pointing out their wrongs and then finding solutions for them to get back on the right track. He needs a strict penalty right now because let me tell you something. He's always had slaps on the wrist and it's not working. So for him to get his treatment, yes, you can get your treatment, but you got to go through some strict shit first. Because if you notice, a lot of people that been on podcasts that have changed their life, they always said it was that one move that got me either 10, 20 years or strict punishment that made me sit my ass down and realize what the fuck I was doing, why I was doing it, and I changed my life. Until he gets that sit down moment, he's always gonna get that slap on the wrist and then go out here and act like a spoiled child that is privileged and doesn't get punished. And I'll land my plane on that.
I totally agree. And that's actually a good segue, huh?
Preacher.
Yeah, I totally agree. And that's actually a good segue when you start talking about dumbass people that need to sit their ass down and get taught that lesson. Man, oh man, don't get me started because I could go all day, but this particular jackass right here comes to mind. Alicia Andrews has been found guilty on manslaughter charges in connection to the murder of Julio Fulio. Yes, I'm right there with you, Bobby. Yes, you know what I'm saying? And for a number of reasons, you know, you look at her and she looks like somebody that, you know, people all in the comments, if you read under, you know, when she's been posted, she looks so innocent. Oh my gosh, she's so pretty.
And that's the
that's the goddamn
That's why
problem.
I clapped. That's why
That's
I clapped.
the problem.
That's the problem.
That is the problem. You know, this piece of shit right here. Well, I'll just go ahead and play the video. Why not? Let's just go ahead and get it out the way.
Found Alicia Andrews guilty of manslaughter in the deadly shooting of Jacksonville rapper Julio Fulio.
The jury had the option of convicting her of a lesser offense still related to the homicide of Julio Fulio. They did that, convicting her of manslaughter, finding her not guilty of conspiracy to kill Julio Fulio. Andrews helped plan the trip from Jacksonville to Tampa with her co-defendants, and she helped them stalk and hunt down Julio Fulio. They also pointed to her interview with police, saying she lied and covered for her boyfriend, one of the accused gunmen. The defense contended she had no idea about the plan, and Andrews testified she was, and still is, scared of her boyfriend and the ongoing gang war at the root of the murder.
We, the jury, find as follows as to count 1. The defendant is guilty of manslaughter, a lesser included offense.
Shout out to that jury, because this piece of shit right there, she's another one that needs to sit down for a minute, because she thought she was slick. She thought she was going to get off. Talking about, oh, she's scared of her. I'm scared of him. I didn't know anything. Bullshit. If you watch the trial,
bullshit.
You dig? If you watch the trial, man, I mean, they lit her up several times because she was all in on it. She's speaking in code just like them. She calling out coordinates just like them. She on the text messages. Oh, there you go. He leaving here right now, just like them. They got her ass. She helped plan the trip to Tampa. She stalked this man, followed him from club to club, and she helped facilitate that murder. And all of them, are guilty, allegedly guilty. So far, it looks like all of them are going to be found guilty. But in this one in particular, I didn't want them to let her get off, because that's always how it goes. Oh, you the girl, so you get to go home. Nah, fuck that. Everybody did some shit. Everybody gets punished. And this is, Julio Fulio, he wasn't no Boy Scout. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fan of him either, but I'm never a fan of anybody losing their life. I'm just not. You know what I'm saying? Because as long as you're alive, there's an opportunity for redemption. So you don't know how his story would have ended, but you ended it. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't respect that at all. And for a woman, for a female to be putting herself in these type of situations is particularly egregious to me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just not even, I was talking to a girl about that earlier this week, and she was like, that's not even some shit that women do. But it goes back to what I and others have said about these modern women that want to be so goddamn masculine and want to jump into the mix and into the fray of what the men are doing. They want to be men so goddamn bad that they forget how to be women. You understand what I'm saying? So that I thought was justice that was indeed needed. I mean, all of the justice, anybody who participated in that murder should be brought to justice. But this one was particularly satisfying for me to see because of the dynamic and the way that it played out. And I mean, if you look at her, you watch her in court, she's laughing in court, she's putting on makeup. You would think that, she was out to dinner somewhere or at a bar. She doesn't realize that she's in court for first-degree murder. I think she got what she deserved. That's just how I feel. What y'all saying?
So, I saw the court trials and proceedings, and in my head, I'm saying to myself, she is no better than a lot of these guys out here that will do some shit to be down with some people. Facts. Until the fucking mirror is in front of you, and now you're facing all the shit you done did, and it's slapping you dead in your face. And she's laughing now, but I promise you, when they shut them damn railings on that jail,
it's going down.
Her ass is going to cry and pray to God to give her another chance. See, a lot of times people get inside these cameras and they're not built for this. They get in front of these cameras knowing they're not built for this life. And they want to show everybody that they bad. They want to go viral and shit like that. Until that shit backfires And now your ass is gonna wish you get another chance. I promise you, in 2-3 years, when they do an interview with her, you're gonna see another person that you're gonna be like, where was this person before all this Fulio shit went down?
Oh, hell yeah.
She's gonna come herself all the way back. She gonna pull a whole Miley Cyrus on their ass 2-3 years.
It's coming.
And we see it. We see this repetitive behavior so many times. Like the guy, the one 18-year-old dude, real tall in the orange suit. They done made memes out of this dude. When he sat back and did what he did and killed that person, and then they told him, hey, you got about, I think, 300 years or something like that. And dude done fell out. He done passed out in the court. He had on an all orange suit. Y'all remember that tall, skinny dude? And the judge told him how much years he was getting, and that motherfucker just like, oh my God.
Blacked out. Blacked out.
Yeah, they done made memes out of him. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you got to understand. It looks good now. It sounds good now. You're acting tough now. But when the reality sets in, you're going to pray that you had some type of time machine to go back and rewrite your wrongs. But the problem is, you don't get a second chance. And that's why when people like us tell you how to go and follow the right path, y'all sit back and laugh, or y'all don't take heed to it until it's too late. See, we're the ones that's telling you, like, hey, you don't want to go down that route, because I never been down that route, but I know a lot of people that been down that route. And it's the same story that they all tell you. I wish I would have did things better. There's this one thing, and I'm gonna land my plane on this. There's this one interview this guy did recently, but it seemed like it's a repetitive thing they always said. But I thought it was a very powerful message to the youth that are out there that's very troublesome. Every mentor tells this to children and young adults too. Don't let 5 seconds of a decision fuck up your entire life.
Facts.
Understand how to control yourself. Understand how to be reasonable. Understand how to maneuver in this world full of traps and triggers, full in a heartbeat. And I'll land my plane on that.
All right, Bobby Drake.
Absolutely.
She's talking about.
You know, I'm probably the person who bangs this drum the most on here about
therapy.
Women, well, that too.
Okay.
But
I thought you were gonna say therapy. Okay, go ahead.
But she definitely needs it for sure. But just women and this presumption of innocence and virtue and everything. And I don't know if that was ever true at any point in history, because women are people, women are human beings. And there isn't anything that men are subject to that women, for the most part, aren't subject to. However, that definitely isn't true in this day and age. This time where we could just, give women the benefit of the doubt in that regard, those days have long gone. And they've gone the way of the dodo. Talk about proxy violence. Now women will go ahead and enlist men to do their dirty work and take out women in some cases, and meanwhile they just sit right back and they do the same kind of nonsense she's talking about. Well, I was afraid, I had no choice. You see, I'm still in fear of my boyfriend to this day. Man, you're not John Cena. We can see you in 4K. We see you. There is absolutely nothing about that woman, and she's a young woman too. This isn't like this some old woman in her 30s or 40s, 50s that's hardened. Right. She's barely 20. She just turned 40 like 3 minutes ago.
It's crazy.
22 years old, and she's sitting there. She's in a murder trial, and she looks like she's thinking, "Damn, I gotta get groceries after this."
It's crazy.
Do I got some pads at home? Ooh, let me go get some more Kotex. Kotex period. She looked like she's thinking about her grocery list while she's there in the courtroom.
She looks like she has no soul.
We've seen grown ass men in them courtroom proceedings for murder trials looking like they have a loaded Depends diaper on them. They're sweating bullets. And she was convicted. They found her guilty, and she's still kind of like, whatever.
She don't get it.
Now, she hasn't been sentenced as of yet. That's coming in December. I think it's the 8th.
Yeah.
But she's up for 15 years.
That's crazy.
That's not a short period of time. That's football numbers. She's facing 15 years tops, which personally I hope that she does get.
I do too.
I hope that she does get them, her and the rest of them.
Yeah.
But the fact that she has 15 years of her life on the line, which means if she's convicted, by the time she gets out, she's going to be almost 40 years old. She's Mr. 20s.
Yeah.
30's gone.
Yeah.
You are going to be starting life all over again in your 40s. That's assuming that you make it out, because it might be women's prison, but it gets gritty in prison too. You can get shanked in women's prison. You can get your skull caved in women's prison. That happens too.
Facts. Yeah.
So you are entering in a very high risk, volatile environment where every single day your safety, your life is on the line, hoping that you can make it out in X amount of days, weeks, months, and years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to be sitting there all casual, like you got better things to do, that says just how far gone off the wagon you are.
Yeah.
And how long it's been that way. Now, we'll see if that's just a tough chick, tough girl act, and when she gets the numbers read off, how she responds. But so far, everything about her demeanor indicates as though she's really unbothered.
Yeah.
Which is not a good thing. But again, it also goes to show, as if we needed more evidence of why it is dangerous and to your own detriment to go along with the societal narrative that men are always predators, women are always victims.
Facts.
It's bad for society. It's dangerous on an individual level. There are women out here that are every bit as capable of causing immense pain, trauma, and suffering as men are.
That's facts. That's facts. And this particular person, I think, is an extraordinary example. Like I said, just her makeup, her look, you understand what I'm saying? And just the overall aesthetic. I think that's going, I'm hoping that her sentencing reflects the seriousness of this crime so that it can send a signal, because you have a lot of young women out here, again, you know, they want to be men so bad, and they don't even take on the positive attributes that men have to offer. They take on the worst possible attributes, and they think that that's being masculine or that's being hard, as though a woman should want to do that. But that's just some whole other shit. That's another show. So we go transition into something else. While we're talking,
I just want to say this real quick. Hey, this is a prime example that y'all need to shut that bullshit down about black men don't protect black women, because let me tell you something. There's a lot of black men that are in prison and in the dirt for protecting black women, and it's also there's a lot of men in the dirt and in jail because of women. Let's not forget that point. These women have been a key factor for a lot of men-on-men violence. If you look at it, a lot of times you will always pinpoint back to a woman that has caused the rift between that. I just wanted to land my plane on that one.
All facts and an extraordinary point. We're gonna go right on and move. While we're talking about goofy asses that don't know how to act, I had to bring up this buffoon right here.
Really a breeze. My kids ain't have to do too much, man. I really, to be honest, I let them do whatever they want to do. Yes, I'm that type of teacher. Took me a little lunch break. Yeah, they got it going on at this joint. They stay bound. Okay, then. Damn, shorty. Sheesh. Man, I gotta get up out these school kids try to take me down, man. Then I look so young. I look like one of them.
This goddamn buffoon, boy, let me tell you something. That shit did not go how she thought it was gonna go. Boy, they still dragging her ass. They are still dragging her goofy ass. How the fuck you go into a school and you, first of all, you recording students? The hell you doing recording students? There's a clear policy against recording students, and you wouldn't think that that would be weird. People would see you as strange. People would see you as weird recording students. And while you were recording the students, I guess you just couldn't help yourself. You had to make a remark about how fine this young lady was, basically. Damn. Sheesh. Damn, shawty. I gotta get out of here, man. These kids trying to take me down. I look like one of them. What? What? Ma'am, what the hell is... Yo, people are so unself-aware.
What the hell? What the hell? What the heliante? What the helicopter? What the helipad?
This damn buffoon. And then there's so much wrong with this story. Right on down to I'm the kind of person that let my students do what they want to do. That's the kind of teacher I am. What? What is she talking about? The way she talks, the way she comports herself, looking like the goddamn 6th member of Bone Thugs and Harmony. What the fuck is that? Bruh? And she thinks she is so cool and so fly. And I've always had a pet peeve with teachers that try to be down. That's like the other hood rat out here dressing like she going to Magic City and she works at an elementary school. What the hell are we doing out here with our children? You are performing a service, whereas you are teaching the next generation. I don't think enough teachers understand the gravity with which their job comes. You go out here dressing like that, talking like that, you know what I'm saying, shouting, you know what I'm saying, I did like this one of these kids like this. Fuck wrong with you? You sound like you got a mouthful of hot grits. Dude, seriously? And then she in the car all nigga explaining about this and I don't say it wasn't like that, you know what I'm saying? Oh, so why did you say it? We heard you. The hell you talking about? It wasn't like that. That wasn't what I said. What I had really meant was, anytime you got a nigga explain for that long, bruh, just sit the fuck down. Come out, apologize, hang the shit up. Because not only did she lose that job, she lost her other job, and now she's unemployed and homeless. Now she's unemployed and homeless and begging for donations via GoFundMe on the internet. And the most despicable thing, and I'll park the Chevy with the most despicable thing, bruh, there are people out there defending this piece of shit. That's why we do this show. Because a lot of times it's not even the initial offense or, the person who did what they did. I mean, yeah, it was dumb. It was, it was corny, whatever the case may be. But the fact that you have these low-life degenerates out here defending that shit, defending that behavior. Y'all know I had to recently cut somebody off for that dumb shit just a couple weeks ago. A couple people, actually. You know what I'm saying? Because if you are not a part of the solution, you are part of the problem. The black community right now is in a time of crisis. And we don't need knuckleheads out here co-signing bullshit ideologies and reinforcing people's ignorance. We just don't need it. And I have no patience for that shit. You know what I'm saying? So this one got me particularly upset. And those are my thoughts on it. What y'all saying? Tell me. Talk to me.
Yeah, I saw the Studster too. I thought it was a real good. I'm not gonna lie to you. Whoever created that, whoever created that,
yeah,
yo, that was genius, yo.
That was genius. Right.
Trademark that. Trademark it now.
Because dog, let me tell you something. I was really looking forward to watch this series.
Yeah,
like, really, dog. They put it out there like that. You hype me up for nothing, you motherfucker. No, but all jokes aside.
Yeah.
All jokes aside, the thing about it is, we have to, as a community, as a race of people, we gotta bring back shaming.
Yeah.
And we have to be very strict about shaming. And ignorant motherfuckers that's out here co-signing this and defending this is because you're defending it because you have been indoctrinated by your local pastors, because we're the most enrolled. We talk about being the most enrolled in college, but we don't talk about being the most enrolled in these churches. And you're being indoctrinated at a large rate. And the problem is your pastor has been out here doing all type of wrongdoing, and he is indoctrinating you to be cool with it by telling you that everybody out here sins, and he without sin cast the first stone. But what you don't understand is there's deeper context to that scripture that tells you that shaming and ostracizing people doing wrong and harmful things to the community is how you turn the community around, and also how you get that person to do the inner work to heal themselves so they don't be toxic and destructive in the community. That a lot of people
you're breaking up,
judgment,
bro.
And that's it's the I said a lot of people take shaming as judgment, and that's the wrong thing that will never correct itself. Because you gotta have specifics about what is judgment and what is holding you accountable, because that's what shaming is. It's basically condemning you but holding you accountable. Shaming never told you can't get back on the right track. Shaming was done for you to look in the mirror and say, damn, I just realized what I did and they were right. Now I gotta correct myself. So yes, I'm glad that, and shout out to a lot of the women. There's a lot of women out there that were condemning her.
They on her ass.
They was on her butt heavy. So shout out to the women shout out to the women that were holding her accountable and told her. And then you know what's so bad? The women were shaming her, but guess what? They still was gonna give her a small chance to redeem herself. But you know what this dummy did? This dummy went back on social media and doubled down on the shit. And that's when more women started to drill her ass. And they said that little bit of sympathy we have for you, that shit went out the door. So I land my plane on this and tell people all the time, when you see stuff, you have to address it in order to correct it. That's the only way things can be corrected, is by addressing the issue and turning it around. I land my plane.
All facts, and that's one of those gems that I put out there all the time, and I try to tell people that, like, the commentary is not going to change until the behavior changes. Y'all always complaining about the women's. Oh Lord, nigga, we're complaining about you because you keep doing the same dumb shit. It's not all of you, but it's too many of you. And until the behavior changes, ain't shit else gonna change. And I try to bring people to the table in that spirit, like, hey, we know we got shit to work on. We're trying to talk to the guys and get the guys to change. But as long as y'all are acting like elementary school kids and you're not doing the same for the women think that they're sugar and spice and everything nice and beyond reproach, we ain't moving nowhere, man. Go ahead, Bobby Drake. What you got? Talk to me.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, Drake, before you say something, Drake, I just want people to understand that in other countries, they shame these women. Because you remember there was a viral video, I think it's back in Pakistan or one of those Indian countries, where the woman was out there sleeping with somebody's husband. The whole village beat this woman. And they didn't beat her badly. They beat her to shame her so she could get her act together. And I land my plane on that.
They stoned them motherfuckers to death over there. They lucky if they just get a beating. Shit. Go ahead, Bobby. What you got?
Look. When I saw this, I'm trying to think of a moment this year where I shook my head harder and longer than I did with this one. Because I'm looking at this, and I remember when I first saw the story, I literally had to run the video back when I saw the video.
Yeah.
I had to run it back like at least 3, maybe 4 times. I'm like, when hell I'm seeing. Nah.
That's crazy.
Nah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
And each time I'm hoping that I'm going to see like some kind of like Ashton Kutcher in the background, like, okay, it's just a joke video everyone's in on. I'm like, no. She is drop dead, shoot your foot off serious.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
bro.
God. And of course, what was I expected it. Because anyone that's that dumb to kind of make a video like that and actually put that out there, I mean, you know what's coming after the fact. The whole explaining and it wasn't all that. I'm not a predator. I'm like, you know, that wasn't warrant for me to lose my job. I'm like, ma'am.
Bruh. You lucky.
You being a certified pedo god right alongside BBL Drizzy is only the icing on the cake for this.
Facts.
First off, I really need to emphasize this point because I think this might be one of those things where if you've never been there, if you're not familiar with the system, you won't really get it. But I want to emphasize she's a substitute teacher. Now I've been on both sides of the education fence. I've been on actually 3 sides of the education fence. I've been a teacher. Before I was a teacher, I was a substitute teacher, and I've also been an interventionist as well. So 3 different roles within the classroom, all different purposes. So I understand all 3 of those very well. This isn't a teacher who has a dedicated room, dedicated students, teaches a dedicated grade. She's a substitute teacher. She's not a full-fledged real teacher. Now, I don't know if I'm sure with the shortages over the years it's changed, but back when I was out of the picture, there's only 2 ways that you could really you didn't really need, I think you just need like a college degree to go ahead and get in and start substitute teaching. I've seen some people say you just need to have a high school diploma to be a substitute. That could be. But I know at least to become a full-fledged teacher, you either need to have a degree in education, or if you don't have a degree in education, you can have another subject. You can be a major in psychology or art, philosophy, whatever, but you have to go and take some exams and get your pass the certified teaching exam to pretty much go ahead and say, I don't have an education background, but I've shown that I have the competence to be a teacher and to operate in this capacity, whatever. But as a substitute teacher, you don't have any of that, which means you don't have any of the protections. You don't have any of the unions that you can be part of. You have none of the things that hold you in place that kind of give you some leeway as a teacher.
You're on an island, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically, you exist on the good graces of the schools. In other words, if no one hits you up and says, hey, we got a spot for you today, you don't work. No benefits, nothing. So it literally is a privilege for you to be in the people's schools. You in the schools taking video of students with no permission slip slide? You kicking up your feet on the desk like you run the place? You coming in looking like you about to go and be in a damn 2010 Lil Wayne video or something? Ma'am,
and
what
saying
are
that,
we doing?
And worst of all, saying that you let your kids do what you let your students do whatever they want to do.
I'm
like there's
Jesus.
no curriculum.
I know most teachers, even with the unions back in, we're going to be in some hot water behind something like that. And you a whole sub and you doing this nonsense? Ma'am, you can't possibly be serious. So the whole pedophilia thing, that's just you really trying to, you go for the hat trick. Now you try to overachieve at this point. Because there's a whole bunch of other stuff that you could have been booted out of the school board and the system for before we even got to that. That's just you trying to make sure we have no stone left unturned.
This shit is outrageous.
So it's just ridiculous. And I think they actually interviewed that. They found it because it's the internet. They're gonna find everybody. They found the little girl who got unfortunately the highlight. And she was like, I'm not interested in with girls like that. I had no idea what she was even doing. I was looking because I saw there's a camera on me, and I was kind of surprised. So this is all nonsense. To even go and put that on children is ridiculous. And don't tell me you're not a pedophile when you're even thinking that way in the same vein. You might not be a full-fledged jump on him in the bathroom type, but you definitely had the thoughts. You considered it once or twice. You daydream for a minute.
Oh, hell
wondered,
yeah.
I wonder what that has happened, because
Hell
there's
yeah.
no way you get to that point thinking that way. And then on top of that, it passes by the board of directors inside here saying, we're not only going to make a video saying this, we're going to put it out there for everyone to see. Yeah, that's a good idea.
What?
No, man. You need a whole Family Feud. You need both Family Feud teams in your brain to look at you and go like this. With Steve Harvey saying, you sure you want to go with that answer? You need a whole check and balances system before you're allowed to do that. I started saying recently, and I keep seeing more evidence of it, there's a lot of adults that really need adult chaperones.
Facts.
Because I'm seeing way too many people that have shown they are incapable of making good, sound decisions as an adult. You need another adult. You don't need a what do they call it? You don't need a service animal. You need a service person.
There you go.
You need a service person.
Facts. That's my thing. I'm looking at this. I'm like, how could you be so fucking stupid to put that up on the internet, to even share that with someone? You know what I'm saying? Like,
we
you put it up for the world to see?
We hear you.
What? Yo,
you're supposed to keep the intrusive inner. It's supposed to be intrusive inner thoughts for a reason. It's inner.
And
why would you let that out?
It? Yeah, it's crazy. Go ahead, real quick, Ant.
Yeah. No,
yeah,
I
can't hear you.
Say that another thing. Yeah, can you hear me now?
I hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yo.
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying. I was saying that a lot of times people don't realize that there's a huge pandemic going on with a lot of this social absorption. Like, a lot of people are trying so hard to be this Truman Show in order to gain followers. And there's a recent thing that just happened where this girl was, I don't know if you guys saw it, it's a TikToker that was recording and they had her child back, and she hit a 59-year-old man and killed him.
Wow.
And she was recording while driving. Just, you know how you have how like people do Uber and they put their phone on the windshield and they're talking like that, and she's talking to her followers and not paying attention because she got tunnel vision to her phone, not paying attention, and hit a 59-year-old man while your daughter's in the car. And you hear her on live like, oh, damn, well, did I just hit somebody?
Wow.
And she said, I think I hit somebody. And all of this is on live because you're not paying attention. You so absorbed putting out content, and you don't care how you do it, that you do it at the wrong times because you're so programmed to always throw out content on everything you're doing. And it's going to be very harmful because now it becomes a creature of habit for you to do. And then when you start to get into relationships, that's how you have people that don't know how to put down their phone, and you having complication in relationships because now the energy is stay inside that phone. And I land my plane on that.
Right.
It's crazy.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. You know, it's absurd, bro. It's absurd. All right, let's go ahead and move on here. We got a lot of ground to still cover here, but I mean, wow, like you said a mouthful right there, because you got these people out here, they are so obsessed with becoming well known. Bruh, it's weird and creepy. And while we're on that topic, let me go ahead and talk about this particular weirdo and some of the stuff that's been going on with him, because he kind of fits right into that being obsessed with being well-known shit.
I just got off the phone with Kim. I told her to stop antagonizing me with this TikTok thing. I said it's never again. I am her father. I know y'all don't respect fathers and the idea of family, and media tries to promote something. I said I'm not allowing my daughter to be used by TikTok, to be used by Disney. I have a say-so. And then when people say, oh, they're going to use this for you in court, I didn't have a say-so on whether or not they went to Sierra Canyon. Most men do not, there's no such thing as 50-50 custody with in society today. That's not even, it always leans towards the mom. But right now, and I'm happy that you guys got to see just a small piece of what I dealt with.
I feel really blessed to be able to sit here with you today and just take accountability. I was dealing with some various issues, dealing with bipolar also. So it would take the ideas I had and have me take them to an extreme where I would forget about the protection of the people around me and myself.
Amen. That's the best, man. Yeah.
Oh, it's so touching. So, Kanye in classic Kanye fashion, right? As far as the first part of that video makes me angry on so many levels. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting up here whining online about Kim and how she's got his daughter out here looking crazy or whatever the case may be, this, that, and the third. And, nigga, what did you expect? What did Cat Williams say? You had a child from the Whore of Babylon? When did Cat Williams lie in that interview? This is what those women do. Their mother did it to them. What you think they're going to do to their children? I pray for Northwest every chance I get. I really do. Because both of her parents are fucked up. Her grandparents are fucked up. Everybody around her's fucked up. You understand what I'm saying? And I really, really pray that somebody with some sense gets a hold of that child and, you know, gives her the guidance that she needs at some point. Because, man, if you're depending on these assholes, these buffoons to guide you, man, you in for a ride. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Kim does have her out here looking crazy, you know, dressing in corsets and mini skirts and, you know, thigh-high boots and all this old shit with all this weird stuff on. Yeah, but look at the type of bird that you married, my nigga. Kanye, what were you thinking? How did you expect this to end? Everybody saw this coming from a bajillion miles away. And you up here whining online. And first of all, what the fuck you telling us for? I say that with all these damn celebrities. Hey, y'all, man, you know, I just got off the phone with Kim. Nigga, why are you telling us? What are we supposed to do? This whole oversharing shit where you tell your life story to perfect fucking strangers and then get mad because people in your business or your dumbass followers say, why y'all in their business though? Because, bitch, they told me all their business. That's why. What you talking about? And then the other part, the more egregious part of the video, because this show is called Consequences, right? So we got to talk about the consequences of your actions. Nigga, you wiped up this mutt and had a kid with her, and now you mad because she got your kids out here looking crazy. She's showing herself as an unfit mother. Duh. That's one of the consequences you got to deal with. And now you got to go with your tail between your legs, crawling back to the Jews, begging them, you know, for their forgiveness because you've been out here just banging on the Jews, you know, just because. Apparent goddamn reason. Just the Jews, the Jews, the Jews. If you got a problem with somebody, name the person you got a problem with. The Jews is a very ambiguous term. There are people who are Jewish that they never did shit to you. So if you real and you really against the system, Kanye, like you keep claiming you are, get out here and say who it is and exactly what they did. Then I'll believe you. You understand what I'm saying? But the Jews this, the Jews that, and then you go take your bitch ass back over there on bended knee. You know, he sounded like he was sedated or something. I don't know. If you listen to how he was talking, he sounded like he had a mouthful of hot rocks or some shit. What was that he was saying? You know, I'm sorry. He barely could speak. And you know, Harley Pasternak, his handler, threatened him. Like, hey, man, you keep talking that shit, we're going to drug your ass up and send you back to zombie land. So I don't know if that's what happened. And by the way, and I'll park the Chevy with this, that guy he was sitting down with, that particular rabbi, he's not just an ordinary rabbi. He's a Kabbalist. If you know, you know. When we start talking about the Kabbalah, the dark side of Jewish mysticism, that's a Kabbalist he's sitting down with. You don't believe me? Look it up. You understand what I'm saying? So that's another question. Why are you sitting down with an occultist, holding hands with him and begging his forgiveness? Bruh, it's crazy. And blaming it on, I told you, man, he does any bullshit and blames it on bipolar disorder. Right before his album dropped, coincidentally. Right before he's going on tour, coincidentally. Fuck out of here, man. I'm done with Kanye. But go ahead. What y'all say on that, man? Y'all go ahead and cook.
Kanye is a walking hypocrite.
Yes, he is.
You know, it's like at this point you should be done with Kanye, because it's basically you're gonna lose more brain cells listening to the rubbish that come out of his mouth more than anything else. And it also goes back to why you as a brand have to always be on the right side of everything, because even when you're right, and I will say that what he talked about, there is some validity to it as being a father that really is restricted as much as you are, because the mother has total power. Even though that is right? And you have a valid point. You done cried wolf too much times that nobody want to hear your shit. Even when you right, niggas don't even want to hear your shit. You can tell somebody, man, this person's house is burning on fire. People gonna be like, man, shut the fuck up.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And then you put yourself in a space that once you do that, you lose your whole soul. What is the purpose of even being alive if nobody cares to listen to what you have to say, whether you're right or wrong? And you put yourself in that. So I just want the youth or anybody that's watching this, you are your brand. You are your brand. And you have to hold yourself accountable to being the utmost respectable brand out there that you place in the world. The moment you get a little tarnish on your brand, people will discard your brand and won't even look in your direction. And a lot of times when that happens, you basically losing a lot of your wealth and financial resources. And that's why when he was out here talking all that shit about the Jews, and now you're kissing, you basically got on your knees and almost kissed this man's feet, but instead you got a hug out of it. Because if they told you to kiss their feet, you would have did it. Because you put yourself so far down the totem pole that you have lost all your power that you grew from when you first started. And that's the thing about it. We have too many people out here that are walking hypocrites. So when you are saying something of substance, nobody wants to listen to it, because 5 minutes later, you're going to go against that substance that you just said. You're going to go and try to do the opposite and what you said, and telling people to do the opposite. Which is just the most ridiculous thing ever. So I'll land my plane on that, man. Kanye, you gotta just discard him. Keep it moving.
Dude is a whole ass clown out here, man. Like, real talk. What you got, Bobby Drake?
What do I got?
I know it's a lot.
I actually got a whole lot of nothing.
The condensed version. It's a lot. You can spend all day on this dude.
I got nothing, because I still look again. I stay out of people that do not play Parcheesi with all of the matchsticks. I stay out of their business, because I don't have to properly wade through the thought process, the mind of Kanye. I would need a whole entire scuba diving wetsuit. And then with that, I would need a hazmat suit on top of that, because there's just so much pollution in the boy's head. I don't know when the last time is that he's had a legitimate, clear-cut thought. I don't. Because he's all over the place. You could tie two tomcats together by their tails and start shooting at him with a super soaker. I don't think you could be more harebrained than he is, right? He's all over the place. And like you said, it's sad because regular, mentally healthy Kanye, when he was that dude, he had a very sharp mind. Not just in terms of art, but he was a very intellectual brother, very sound brother up here. Mm-hmm. And that's why you can see bursts of that from him now. That person's still up there. The problem is there's so much shit clinging to him now. You only get bits and bursts, so every now and then. And again, if you've never spent time with someone that's suffering from these diseases of the mind that interrupt or disrupt your thought patterns or whatever, it'll literally be like this. They'll be speaking, they're clear, they're lucid, they sound very, with it together. And then it's almost like you hit a speed bump and it's like you change complete course. Like, how do we get in this neighborhood? Mm-hmm. We were here in Coconut Grove. What are we doing in Key West? How do we make this jump? And it's very disconcerting to witness from the outside, but for them, it's perfectly normal and natural. So, and like you're saying, it's very easy for you to just go ahead and steer these people around. But again, when you're at the level of somebody like Kanye, who can you properly trust to rein you in and have authority over you like that? There was a lot of flack that Britney Spears' father got for keeping her on that conservatorship and keeping her under such a tight lock and key and everything. But the only reason that, even if you don't like it, you thought that he was overdoing it. The only reason you didn't see Britney Spears spiraling out like an Antonio Brown or like a Kanye West is because there was someone in place, that's family, that cared enough. They're like, look, you're not going to lord your fame or your wealth, whatever, over me. I'm still such and such to you. I'm still your father. I'm still your family. I love you. I'm not going to allow you to go out here and go crazy and squander everything that you've worked for.
Yeah.
I'm going to protect your brand and your image. Mm-hmm. And now she's out the conservatorship. Now, she hasn't done too much, but, she's definitely made it clear that she's trying to make it for lost time. And I don't know how that's going to go. But when Kanye's mother died and he started spiraling, he would have benefited tremendously from having somebody in place to put him on a conservatorship, to keep him aligned and not sabotage himself and his brand and his family and everything, to make sure that he's riding the rails properly. Because dude is all over the place. He's being led in different directions that he doesn't want to go. Like you said, he's sitting there in that thing, sound like somebody coerced him. Like they either had like a pistol to his back or they had him drugged or something. But
crazy.
Nothing about that video was on the up and up. If you think that was just a regular organic moment, then I have beachfront property in the middle of Montana to sell you. Then if it's like that, I got it for you for the low. Get at me after the show.
Yeah. Shit, wow, bro. This shit is. I don't know what to make of it, man. You know what I'm saying? You see it all the time, and it's like it just shows no sign of getting better. And this guy was once one of those guys, man, and they have effectively neutered this man. You know what I'm saying?
There's a reason why a lot of people who've been there have referred to fame as a disease. They've referred to fame as a drug, but they've also referred to fame as a disease. Mm-hmm. And I think that is absolutely accurate. And it's very similar to COVID, because they say COVID-19 or the jab, it doesn't necessarily unalive anybody, but what it does is it basically turns the security system off for your immune system and everything. So small basic things have the chance to take you out. So you got a little common cold that should just be some sniffling and sneezing for a few hours and you're good. Mm-hmm. Now it's that common cold is basically your biggest stop.
Yeah,
they got that blicky aimed at you. Fame is very much the same case, because again, if Kanye wasn't famous, he would just be that uncle that everyone knows. Just need to keep him away from the stove. Don't touch the sharp objects. He'd be fine. But unfortunately, uncle in this case is a billionaire musical genius who is very famous, very beloved, and as such has No one wants to get in the way or interfere, do anything to kind of upset him or offset him.
Shit is insane, bro.
I would never want to. Oh my God. I would give my left nut to not be famous if it came to that. I don't want it. You can have that.
I mean, my God, the groveling is next level. Grovelinglikeabitch.com. My God. All right. You know what we had? We had to do it. We had to do it.
This man just hit me in my face with a brick, and all these black men just watch, and they don't give a. Yeah, this man hit me, grabbed a rock, and he hit me in my face because I would have given him my number. And all y'all just watch. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? What y'all do? I want y'all to be a man. I want y'all to be a man. Do something. Y'all gonna let a man hit me in my face?
A woman who raised over $40,000 on GoFundMe is now being charged with theft by deception.
What have I ever done to anybody in my life to deserve this?
Rhoda Osmond told cops that she was hit in the face with a brick outside a Houston club after she refused to give out her phone number. But footage capturing the incident does not support Rhoda's report, according to charging documents. And cops say a similar GoFundMe was created in 2020 where she claimed to be assaulted with no reports on record. GoFundMe told an NBC affiliate that the fundraiser has been removed from their platform and Rhoda has been banned from creating future fundraisers.
Oh, the satisfaction. I gotta get a round of applause for that. You understand? Like, yo, that right there, that was satisfying.
Is my smile wide enough?
Yeah, okay.
I'm trying to see if I can get the lines up to here.
Oh,
like, I need this here.
You dig? You got the Kool-Aid smile working, bro. Oh, yeah. That was so satisfying. I am so glad they locked up this goddamn lying ass buffoon piece of shit. Bruh, this woman out the gate, she jumped out the gate. Lying and scamming. Another lying and scamming tether, by the way. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And she's out there in the parking lot pointing at her face, and you see what he did to me? This man, he hit me in the face because I wouldn't give him my number. And I just want to take time out and shout out all the radical feminist demonic birds that came out attacking men because of our position on this particular thing. See, this is the difference. This is why I always advocate for women, you know, who claim they want men to be leaders. Go find you a man that can lead. Because I'm not going to say that I don't feel that women are stupid. I don't feel that they're beyond intellect, but I feel that sometimes their nurturing instinct gets the best of them. You understand what I'm saying? And it makes them gullible. You know, unfortunately, just about every man that I knew saw this story and like, that's some bullshit. Because number 1, 2, and 3, what dude is going to hit you in the face? And I mean, there's some dudes out here that are raunchy and, you know, wild or whatever, but they're going to hit you in the face because you didn't give them their phone number. That just doesn't make any sense. I've seen dudes cuss girls out because they don't give them their phone number. But even then, it's usually not just that. Every now and again, it's just that. But usually when they get cussed out, it's because they said some slick shit when they were declining the interest in the man or whatever the case may be. Now, not to say that you don't have some ratchet dudes out here that might still get buck or whatever, but most of the time, it's not that simple. Oh, I just didn't give him my phone number and he hit me or he slapped me or he cussed me out. It hardly ever works like that. And I'm looking at her and she ain't no great shakes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, well, I find difficulty believing anybody's interested in her to begin with. You know what I'm saying? But okay, whatever. Just the way she was telling the story and the fact that her first reaction was not to call the police, but to get online. And the first thing that she does is attack black men. Why? You know what I'm saying? Like, this person hit you in the face with a brick. He's not there no more. What were the black men supposed to do that didn't see anything? What were they supposed to do? And the guys there even asked her, and she's like, oh, I expect you to be a man. But ain't y'all the same ones always running around talking about how you don't need no man? And boy, the feminists got behind her with everything they had. They were coming out here with both barrels talking about, oh, y'all misogynists and y'all, this lady got hit in the face with a brick and oh Lord, and y'all don't have no sympathy. Who verified that? Simple question. You know what I'm saying? Those of us that's from the street, that's the first thing. Okay, who's there to corroborate this story? I see this one unhinged lady running around talking shit, crying. See, as soon as a female start crying, not all, but a lot of the other females, oh, you know, something happened, and don't let her say that it's some misogynist shit. And you got half of these females out here with their daddy issues, and you know, they're mad at their baby mama status issues and all that old shit. Don't let them get out here. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's a whole other argument. Like they really take these things so personally, like we attack them. We're onlookers like you're onlookers. You don't want to verify this first? You saw the other lady lied about some goddamn baby on the expressway. Y'all fell for that shit too. You gotta be smarter than that. You gotta start thinking and stop reacting to shit so emotionally. London said some bullshit this week about how men are more emotional or every bit as emotional as women. Get the fuck out of here. Men usually, you know, with the exception of a few Russell Wilson ass niggas, men usually will look at the facts and try to make a determination. You understand what I'm saying? And this particular case made my head explode. I am so glad they sentenced her ass, gave her some jail time, banned her from social media for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like it should have been more severe in my opinion. She should have got more time, but I'm glad that she got something, because somebody needs to make an example of buffoons like this, and she has to pay back that money that she scammed people for. The amount. GoFundMe gave the refund already, but since she scammed people for that amount, they still charged her an additional $42,000 she has to pay back, and that's great. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see her on her ass. So yeah, that was wonderful. I think that was a little sliver of justice. What y'all say about that?
Yeah, the first thing I want to do is salute to the queen of accountability, Daphne.
Yes, Daphne. Yes.
So going through that and you know, pinning her to the stake, and putting that last nail in her.
She was on her ass.
And it just shows you that why we need real solid women out here.
Yes.
Because see, a man can't do what Daphne did without being called all type of stuff and deflection, and then a gather of women against this man. But once you got a woman who is holding other women accountable, now there's not that excuses out. There's no excuses out there. And the fact that Daphne has built her brand holding pointing out lying ass women and putting them on Front Street. And that opened up a lot of eyes for people to see that it's a lot of fucked up women out here.
Yeah.
I think Bobby said something that was eye-opening to me when he was on when we was talking about discussing something, and ever since he said it, I really started to look at it like, wow. But Bobby said there's a lot of women out here that's not mentally with their screws intact.
Facts.
There's a lot of mentally fucked up women out here, and we don't talk about that. That's the huge elephant in the room. So when you sit out here and things go wrong, and y'all sit there and make these women victims, y'all really don't understand that a lot of these women don't have the mental capacity and capability, and the actuality is the man is the one keeping them sane.
Yeah.
And yet the man gets blamed, and they get to fly under the radar as, don't worry about it, it's just no good men out here. It's not you're not the issue. And in reality, you got all these women that's under the victim veil that's out here destroying men left and right, because women aren't out here holding those lying ass women accountable. So I'm glad Daphne is doing the work. And I hope more sisters join in and have this. I would love to see them have this super hero collaboration of a team of women holding other women accountable. So it's just not Daphne doing it herself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, remember on the show, back when we reported it, I gave everybody the information that's coming out now. I was giving people that information on our show. If you go back to our archives from when it happened and we spoke about it, I was giving people additional information that she was out here putting saline in her face.
Yeah.
Puffing it up. Doing all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we was on the bumper, and that's why I say this is so important for y'all to subscribe, because a lot of the things we're telling you, we're seeing a lot of everything come out maybe months, a year later, a couple years later, everything we done told you on this platform.
Yep.
So I'll have my
fact.
plane on that.
Bobby Drake, what's happening?
Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day.
Man, look.
When Jesus was.
Man.
Woo! Look.
Look, man, look.
There's not too often that you're going to see me celebrating when someone that looks like me gets the perp walk and gets found guilty and he gets hit with that sentence. But when I do, woo!
Hey, it's a beautiful thing, bro.
It's a whole entire Kirk Franklin 90s era concert where I'm at.
Yeah.
We getting that we praise dancing, we stomping. It's a celebration because it means you really you had this coming with back pay.
Yeah.
It means you was on a government shutdown and you got about a good 2-3 months of back pay heading you earned this, sir, man.
Yep.
I don't do it lightly. When I do it, it's for a reason. And boy, I have been praying for her that the dildo of consequences pulled up and it arrived bone dry with no shred of lubrication anywhere in the picture. Just get that work, ma'am. And she getting it. This is an evil, wicked heifer. And of course, as is typically the case, now that her face has been out, the case has been exposed, streets talk. And like you mentioned, she has a history of doing this. And this is another reason why it's so important, because men typically are faced with these consequences. And especially if you look like us, our consequences typically arrive right away. Grace isn't something that we're typically given.
Exactly.
Whatever it is, we usually get it right off the bat. Other people, the system bends and it expands and it accommodates a lot more willingly. But for women, it almost always is a rule, lets them skate on by. But the problem with that is the same things that we were taught and understand regarding the children still apply in adulthood. It's not a childhood thing, it's a human being thing. Whatever it is, and I'm always telling people, especially the ladies, whatever it is that you accept, you should expect. There's a reason why when your children misbehave, I'm not talking about hitting or spanking them per se, but there's a reason when your children are young, they start misbehaving, you're supposed to correct them. When you see little Timmy throwing a tantrum or I want this or hitting the little baby brothers or sister or hitting people at school, there's a reason you're supposed to pull them aside and check them right then and there and continue to redirect. Because if you do not do that, you send the message that this is okay.
Facts.
That you can continue doing this going forward. And in fact, it's not going to just sit right there. Once they've already established that this is okay to do, they're going to see, well, just where is this line in the sand? They're going to keep on going, increasing until they hit the head in the ceiling and find out, okay, this is as far as I can go with it.
Right.
That's not exclusive to children.
No, it's not.
You don't turn 18 and then magically that doesn't happen. No. Grown adults, even in their 60s and 70s, we as a people are always looking to find out, and not necessarily in a malicious fashion, but we're trying to find out, well, what is the boundary? How far can I operate? What freedom, what wiggle room do I have? We do that on the job, we do it in our relationships, and we do it when it comes to how we deal with other people.
Yeah.
So when I saw this case, I was almost positive. You know, I know she's been doing this before. I know there's a track record of this, and sure enough, there has been.
Mm-hmm.
And if she was shut down the first time she did this nonsense, we wouldn't be here today. This is
Because
why
she
it
did
is
do it
so
before.
important to hold women accountable.
Yes.
And don't get it twisted. I know and I understand that there are, in fact, a bunch of misandristic men that love to see women held accountable because it suits their anti-women fetish. Yeah,
Misogynistic. Yeah,
she's
you're right.
suffering. Yeah,
Mhm,
yeah.
mhm.
I get that. But as a whole, people need to be held accountable because it prevents the situations from escalating.
Mm-hmm.
When you do not hold women accountable, when you allow them to go ahead and operate unchecked without consequence, it lets them know that this is the floor for my behavior now, and they will, like any other person would, seek to find out how much more can I get away with.
Mm-hmm.
And it shouldn't take something extreme for that to happen. I just saw a video earlier where there's some guy online. I don't know what he's doing. He's recording or something, and I guess his girlfriend's mad at him. This woman picked up a whole entire box fan, slung it, and hit him in the back of his head with it.
Bruh.
But the internet saw this video and they're laughing because this is funny.
Mm-hmm.
This woman hit him with and the fan was not like he was unplugged. The fan was on. And she picked up and hit him with it, but that's funny. That's no big deal.
Nah, if he would have hit her with it, then what?
Shoot, let's not even go that far. If he got up and uppercut her to the third floor like he should have, now all of a sudden, he's a big man. He could have just walked away. He should have told somebody. But she got to that point because that's extreme. She got to that point because when she was just doing the skibbity paps with her hands, nobody checked her.
Yeah.
You're a boy. You're a man. You're not supposed to put your hands on women. You're supposed to walk away. You let her know that I have the right and the authority to do this when I feel a certain way.
Yeah.
And so now for me, there's no limit to this. I can throw objects. I can fling things. Next time it's going to be a knife. When you don't nip the bullshit in the bud, you should expect and anticipate it to get worse. So big ups to this. And I'm really hoping that this is going to start ushering in an era of consequences for women so we can finally right the scales, because male-female relations are not going to improve and get better. The gender war is not going to shut down until we start seeing women being held to account, not in the sake of get back, but because we're attempting to hold people, period, to the same standards.
Correct.
And your gender, and we understand and recognize and acknowledge that your gender does not give you a pass to act up or misbehave more than any other, male or female.
There it is. All right, well said, man. I got to talk about this real quick. I'm gonna squeeze this in. Yes, and yes.
Real quick. Remember, with the women find it funny unless it's their son or their own child. All right. That's all.
Yeah, that's true too. That's very true. Yeah, isn't that interesting?
Yep. Now the earrings got to come off, the bangles got to get tossed, and the Vaseline got to get slapped on now all of a sudden.
Yeah, now it's different. At the end of the day, a lot of these women just need to grow the fuck up. As simple as that. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to talk about this. This is another dude who needs to grow the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Again, I said this when I was, having this discussion with some women not too long ago. The difference between us and them is that the solid ones among us, we don't co-sign other men's bullshit. The supposedly solid ones among them are always out here caping for some chick, no matter how bad her behavior is. That has to change. All right, so we're gonna talk about this cat one good time, because this guy, he just can't win, man. Come on. Really? Okay, so the video's not playing. I hate it when it does that. Let me go. I'm gonna get it to play. Give me a second, guys. Every now and again, there's some technical difficulty or whatever the case may be. So let me go ahead and go into the other level here. Here we go.
Life is in danger. grave danger. This is not clickbait. It's not a joke. Boosie don't have a lot of time left. Do y'all remember a few months ago, approximately 2 months ago, when Boosie pled guilty to his federal gun case? Well, it looks like a prison sentence ain't the only thing he has to worry about. That plea deal might be the worst decision of his life. It might be the reason he loses his life. He's getting sentenced to a California state prison. So Boosie took the plea deal. However, he still has some unresolved issues in California. And there's gonna be people looking for him when he goes to prison. The Hoovers have already announced that when Boosie land in the California state prison, they are on him. So why is Boosie in trouble with the Hoovers? Why is Boosie being looked for by the Hoover? It's because of what he did to a Hoover OG called Gumby. So Boosie and Gumby ran into some issues a few years back when Gumby threw a concert. At the time, Boosie's manager was his brother TK. Now, the OG Hoover gave Boosie brother the bag, right? So Boosie brother gave the money they agreed upon. However, when Boosie got to the concert, he refused to perform because he said he didn't get paid yet. The Hoover gave the brother all the money. The brother never showed up. So that led to some conflict where they held Boosie at ransom until he could go on stage and perform.
So this is a long, drawn-out drama type issue. I'll just make it real short for you. What Flacco just said, right? Shout out to Poetic Flacco. He really be bringing some content and talking about shit that nobody else talks about sometimes, and he has good content. It's real ill because the Hoover dude, and first off, just as a dude who's been to California and I know, kind of some stuff about California politics, you don't want no pressure with no Hoovers. It never ends well. Some of the people who've been killed recently in California, it's suspected that Hoovers was behind it. And, for a guy who, is from out of town, you're going to California, you're going to be sentenced in California. It's not a good look, especially in LA, what I'm saying? Especially when you have pressure with one of the OG Hoovers, you know what I'm saying? And like, at the end of the day, what happened was the Hoover dude paid Boosie's brother, who was his manager at the time. Apparently, the money never got back to Boosie. So Boosie was saying he didn't perform, he wasn't going to perform or whatever, and they held him and they made him perform. And at the end of the day, the stuff that Flacco didn't mention, they said that basically they was going to work it out. Holla at me, we'll do a song, whatever. I'll do a feature for you, that type of shit. We'll work it out. And from how the story go, Boosie left it at that. After that, he cut off all contact with the dude. And so now, dude is like, I lost $52,000 on that show. You know what I'm saying? And like, nobody ever made me whole. You said you was going to holler at me and we was going to work together. We was going to work it out. And now I'm stuck. You know what I'm saying? And that you just, point being, long story short, Boosie has had a lot of trouble, over the years. He always seems to be in some type of trouble. And a lot of it is because of the fact that he don't keep his face clean. And this type of shit, from the way that the story is told, I haven't heard Boosie's side of the story, but I'm pretty sure that what Flacco is saying is 100. You know what I'm saying? And, you got to keep your face clean and do good business, because the perception here from some very dangerous people is that you robbed them. You understand what I'm saying? And now, later on, fast forward, you have sentencing in their hood. Now you are at a serious disadvantage. Either way, you fucked. Because if you pay them, everybody else gonna be like, if you know the street, you know the street. Everybody else gonna be like, oh, they marked you out. You know what I'm saying? So like, everybody gonna be like, yeah, nigga, you gotta pay. You gotta pay. You gotta pay. You're gonna be getting extorted out there if you pay them. And if you don't pay them, yeah, some serious things could happen to them. I pray that, nothing happens to them, but like, this is how shit go when you let things linger and you don't keep your face clean. It's really important. This is what we talk about when we say consequences. Yes, we know you a big star, you this, you that, all right, cool. But sometimes it's just a matter of simply making peace and making somebody whole so the shit don't bubble up and come back and bite you in the ass later. You understand what I'm saying? So I mean, that story really troubled me because I know how real it is out there and what really could happen. You feel me? And I just pray dude is okay. What y'all say on that?
Boosie, he's been going on. His leash has been extended a little bit longer for a while now.
Yeah.
So you know, they're gonna do everything in their power to reel him in. And sad enough, it's gonna take this situation right here for them to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with Boosie, he's another guy that is, to me, is like another Kanye. You know, he says something that might be valid and then come behind with something else that just contradicts what you just said. And I'm like, yeah, I just see a whole bunch of pattern of these guys getting on social media and that shit happening like that.
Yeah.
You know, so I just be very wary to shit like that. And like you say, everything you do behind the scenes will come to light. You know, and this is a reality that you've been out here enjoying your freedom, getting some money on the side, and now all of that might come to an end over something like this. And I just land my plane on that.
Yeah, it's really sad, man. It's really sad. Bobby Drake.
Man, there's absolutely no drawbacks to doing good business. None.
Facts.
You have to, and it doesn't matter what level of success you reach in life. It doesn't matter if you're just some homeless person living under the bridge. It doesn't matter if you're a CEO of a Fortune 100 company. Doing good business can only benefit you in the long run. It doesn't hurt you. It literally only advances and moves you forward. With that being said, you also need to make sure if you're going to cut corners, and that's dangerous, especially if you're at the level that people like Boosie are at, because at that level, you have to understand that there really are no such thing as minor players. There are none. But you need to make sure that you are crossing your T's and dotting your I's. You can't take it for granted or get so caught up. And again, this goes back to what I said before about fame being a disease. You can't be smelling yourself so much that you think your shit don't stink that you can just go and just brush people off and dismiss people. And I'm just going to wing it and play it by ear. I'm just going to move. Can't do that. Shouldn't be doing your personal life. You damn sure can't do it in business. Can't do it when paper's involved. You definitely can't do it when there's real legitimate, not those little posing dudes on Facebook that got the little fast for student aid money, or they got their mama rent money and they take a picture that, you know, not that crap. But when there's real paper and hood niggas, street cats, affiliated dudes involved, that all by itself is risky. If you're gonna deal with those types, you need to make sure that you need to be the most consummate professional when it comes to dealing with those cats, because they not playing. You can screw over Rico the promoter at the hot club downtown, and he's just gonna haul your ass into court, and y'all gotta get busy in front of Judge Judy, whatever. You're not doing that to Hoover, a GD, a Vice. You ain't doing them dudes. They gonna drag you out to street court, and you will be found guilty. They're judge, jury, executioner, and the arresting officer, and the gravedigger too. And Boosie apparently has, I know he started in the streets, but apparently he's been at the top for so long, he's really taken his status for granted that now he thinks he can go ahead and basically just drop his nuts on the table, so to speak.
Yep.
And now his nuts is about to get snipped off and fed to him in somebody's correctional facility where he doesn't have a dog's chance in the racetrack.
It's crazy.
And I don't know what can be done from at this point. I don't know how affiliated he still is. I don't know if he has those kind of connections where somebody can call in a favor for him or get him off the hook. But don't be surprised if you find out that Terrence Hatcher ends up quite literally with his own head up his own ass. And I'm not saying to be funny, but I mean found misshapen and basically in a prime position for a chalk outline. Don't be surprised.
It's scary stuff, man.
Again,
you know what I'm saying?
and it's even and again, you can't cut corners with these kind of dudes in the first place. But if you're a celebrity, if you're a name, oh my God, you have to walk the thinnest of tight lines because they're waiting for you to jump bad because it's a catch-22. They can't just let you off the hook because it's gonna look like, oh, if you were famous, dude, you shitting on them, you disrespecting them, you think you're better than them. That's not gonna go well for you. But if they let you go, then of course someone that stupid that moved away gonna be arrogant about it. He's not gonna just go ahead and take the W in quiet. He's gonna be like, yeah, man, these little suck ass bangers wrong with them, man. When I come through, I'm boosted. When I come through,
man.
So it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. But ultimately, it gets nipped in the bud by simply doing good business. You want to get ahead. It don't matter if it's in the streets or if it's in the boardroom. You want to get ahead. Develop a reputation for doing good business. One of the toughest industries to really find success, and by success I mean really as a consumer, is dealing with a general contractor. Anybody who's ever done any kind of construction project, or they've been doing construction for a while, everybody has headaches with general contractors because they have a reputation for doing piss poor business. They'll go ahead and make all kinds of demands of you up front. They'll say, well, I demand to get paid half up front so I can begin the project. You can pay me the rest by completion. And they run off in the bag with the half, and you never see them again. But on the flip side, it's also the easiest for people to make a name for themselves because all you literally have to do, you don't have to go above and beyond. You don't have to go to the next level. All you simply have to do is be reliable. Set your deadlines and meet them, or worst case, be transparent. Hey, we encountered a roadblock. It's going to take us a little longer. This is the time frame we're thinking about. Sorry for that. Just doing what you say do will make you an overnight celebrity in that industry because they're so known for being shady. But just doing the basics, what you're supposed to do, will carry you a long way. And that's what doing good business will do for you. So at all levels, please, folks, please stop trying to cut corners. Deliver on what you said you're going to deliver on. Do what you said you're going to do. If something comes up, be transparent, communicate, especially when money's on the line. Stop playing with people's emotions because like Big Worm said, you're playing with my money. Playing with my money, say playing with my emotions.
That's it. Facts. And I mean, it don't get no realer than that. We're going to go ahead and ride out into our next segment. Thank you very much for that information, sir.
Hey, what I was gonna say real quick. What movie that reminds you of when they said you didn't do good business? Remember, what's that? White Man Can't Jump, the Boobie Brothers.
Yeah.
I don't remember that, but I'll take your word for it. Yes, I mean it's imperative, bro. We gotta do that shit. Like when you get to the point, I thought that story was particularly important to point out because it's showing how not doing good business can literally possibly cost you your life.
Yeah.
Niggas don't understand it on that level, but we need to.
This is the Crown Check segment.
No, I was saying that it was pretty dope that they did that in Movie Brothers because they didn't kill the people.
And I was playing the Can you see what's going on? I was playing the intro to the Crown Check and you still talking. Go ahead, Ed.
Oh no! Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No. You already interrupted. So say what you got to say.
Go ahead, man.
No. I was saying it was pretty dope for the intimidation that they did because they had fake blood coming out of their mouths while they were laying down. So they had a bunch of Polaroids. So when the people owe money, they would show them the Polaroids of what would happen. But in reality, when they paid back their money, they had to take the Polaroid as if they got killed when they show other people. Get what I'm saying?
No idea what you're talking about. I didn't see the movie, so I'll take your word for it.
That's your homework.
That's my homework. I didn't see the movie.
Don't come back next week.
I saw it like forever ago. I don't remember that shit. I don't know how y'all remember this shit from movies you saw so long ago. But I'm gonna go back and check it out. We gonna see what's up.
You know what the problem, and is Major to a hood. You know, he came up seeing dead bodies, so he sees some pictures of some fake blood in the movie. That don't mean nothing. You see the real thing.
Like, you know, that's the cost of business. You know,
our bad super thug. My bad.
All right, check this out. I gotta go ahead for the crown check, and I gotta shout out this sister, our good sister, Misty Copeland. And God damn it, this video don't want to play either. What are we doing, man? Like, yo, the video's there. It just went black. So okay, I gotta go to my other file. I'm gonna go ahead to the other file and I'll play it from there. This is crazy, and that's another thing. Sister. Shout out to y'all for bearing with us. We're going to have a new streaming service soon because StreamYard is tripping. All right, here we go.
Here, I'm about to step on stage for my farewell, and I just trying to get focused, feeling overwhelmed and emotional, though excited. So excited to step back on stage. Here we go.
So that right there is our very good sister, Misty Copeland. And Misty Copeland, I was showing that footage because that is the footage from her last dance. And Misty Copeland, for those who don't know, if you don't know, you better ask somebody. Misty Copeland is an American ballet dancer and author.
Prima ballerina.
Oh, man. Prima ballerina. You understand where I'm coming from? And an author, and she is the first black American woman to be promoted to the principal dancer in ABT's 75-year history, which is the company that she was working with. And so this is her farewell dance. She's considered a prodigy who rose to stardom despite, you know, not starting ballet till age 13. Usually they start ballet a little earlier than that. You know, she's extraordinary. She's excelled in the field of ballet. She won the Los Angeles Music Center Spotlight Award as Best Dancer in Southern California. And she became, you know, basically the face for ABT after a while. And, you know, this sister is just so extraordinarily accomplished. She's a speaker, author, celebrity spokesperson, stage performer. She's written 2 autobiographical books and narrated a documentary about her career challenges, A Ballerina's Tale, in 2015, where she was named one of the most 100 influential people in the world by Time magazine. Misty Copeland is a badass. Shout out to this sister, and I really, really salute her on that accomplishment. That is our crown check for today. So, fellas, talk to me, man.
Yeah. Shout out to Misty Copeland for doing such a phenomenal thing.
Yes.
And it plays a great balance in her life by soothing her, you know, mentally, and the coordination. It enhances her coordination, keeps her coordination going as she get older, because ballet is really not easy to do like that, you know, and you got to be physically capable and fit to do ballet the correct way. So definitely that. It reminds me of the Glover guy. Remember the tap dancing
Savion Glover.
That had
Savion
Glover. We need to get more. I don't know why there's not a tradition going on that continued from Gregory Hines. You know what I'm saying? And then it went on to Glover. And then from Glover, we ain't see nobody else pick up the baton and the torch. So we need to see more of our peoples back into the arts like that again.
Yes.
And I think it brings a lot of peace, sincerity, and helps with a lot of the mental issues that go on, because it's an elevated form that really puts people in a real meditated balance. So yeah, shout out to her. I want to see more sisters in that lane, and I want to see more brothers start getting into that, back into tap dancing and doing things like that as well. I land my plane on that.
Yeah, Bobby Drake.
Always a timely candidate for Crown Check, but I'm not gonna lie, it does hurt my heart to know that she's retiring, or that was her last dance, because I wish she was doing a farewell tour, because I heard that was it was like a gala that she did, and that was the last one. But I wish that she would have gone on a tour, so I could have been at one of those events. I know they do like to come down here to the Adrian R Center where they perform. I would have loved to have caught her and seen that, because if you've never seen Misty Copeland live, especially, but if you've never seen even any recordings of her, the way that woman moves is majestic. She's her skills are par excellence, and she is easily one of the most influential Black women of the 21st century. Women, period, but one of the most influential Black women of the 21st century. I know that in the 2000s and the 2010s, I remember it used to be uncommon, surprisingly, to hear about little Black girls that were going to ballet class or doing formal dance, jazz dance, or classical dance, whatever you. And I can't think of a single one. And again, I've also been a teacher, so I talked to my kids, I talked to my girls, my boys, about their interest in everything. And there hasn't been a single little girl that I've seen or heard talk about dance that didn't mention Misty Copeland.
Facts. That's what I'm talking about.
I think it's safe to say that, and this isn't taking shots at anybody else, but I think it's safe to say if a Black girl between the years 2000 and 2020, if a Black girl got into formal classical dance, jazz dance, classical dance, even hip hop dance to some extent, but any formal structural dance, Misty Copeland was an influence of hers.
She's a big deal.
I would put mortgage money almost. Her level of impact and reach is unmatched. And it's because of, from what I hear, she has an amazing personality. She's very welcoming, very warm, very much involved in the arts, but also the way she moves, the effortlessness, the freedom. It's inspirational. And it's easy to see why anyone would want to get behind that. I've even heard some male ballerinas also say that she's a huge inspiration for them as well, too. She ain't a joke. So it's not a small thing. And of course, it might not get mainstream attention like that, but Misty Copeland retiring is not a small thing for the arts community, period.
Agreed.
And as epic as Outkast making the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was an epic, monumental moment, Misty Copeland's retirement is no less significant and definitely should be applauded the same way. We appreciate you, sister. You've been the epitome of class. You have definitely shown Black people of the diaspora that dance is for us, that we have a place, and that we belong there as much as anyone else, if not more. So legendary sister. Legendary sister.
Yeah.
Real quick before we get out here, I also want to really quickly, since we are doing Crown Check, I think it's also fitting for me to also tip a crown to my dear mother, the lady responsible for me being here. This was her birthday weekend, so we celebrated today, lifted her up. Grateful for her life, still kicking hard as ever. The best is still yet to come from her, so very proud of her. Glad to still have her with us, and more life, more power.
It is.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mom. That's what's up. Mama Drake. Yeah.
But again, we want to thank the family for pulling up with us and kicking with us live tonight. All our IG peoples, our YouTube mafia, our Facebook crew, we appreciate y'all. And everyone catching the recording later on, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for spending some time with us. And let's make sure that we're being mindful of our actions. And we're keeping in mind that for every action, there has to be a consequence, good, bad, or in between. And let's make sure that we're also doing our part to hold other people accountable for their actions, because that's the way how we ensure justice is being done. That makes sure that we're keeping everything at a clean slate. And again, if you're like us and you're sick and tired of the gender warring, the best way to ensure that we can rectify that is to make sure that all standards are being applied equally to everybody, so we can have true, legitimate harmony and not just people being quiet but bitter in the background because things are out of whack, but we're not supposed to say anything about it. If you haven't done it already, you know what I'm going to say. That bell icon is right up there. Click that thing, man. Subscribe to all the notifications so you can be in sync with us when we go live and do our things, so you can join us. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this video. Pass to a friend, pass to a family member, pass to an enemy, pass to your boss, pass to your subordinate, pass to the nigga that owes you money, pass it to the person who you owe money and pay them back while you're at it. We'll catch y'all next week, same time, same place, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Over here, I got this long-range brother. His name is Anthony Malcolm. And then to my right side, I got Major Gage, and I am the prestigious Bobby Drake. And united, we are Manversations 2020.
Dad!
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You gotta eat what you kill. You gotta go out there. You gotta hunt for your meals.
We all have that ability to connect with people, to be that motivational person in somebody's life.
You gotta let people know there's certain lines you don't cross, and that there's gonna be consequences if you do.
Man up.
If you are an adult and you are in a relationship, that person's emotions are not your responsibility.
Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
The devil, during slavery, destroyed the masculinity or manhood of the so-called Negro. No man. No man. Right now you got to be trained all over again to be a man.
When someone is obligated to do something, it is binding upon them to do it. And failure to do it causes reaction.
Man up.
Position make you rich? I don't have that type of richness. My richness is life forever.
If that people knew their glorious past, if that people knew their glorious past, if that people knew their glorious past, then they would be more inclined to respect themselves.
I'm not saying I'm going to rule the world or I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job, is to spark somebody else watching us.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up. Manversations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manversations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
You want to tell me about yourself? Go get your friends. I'll tell you who you are based on who your friends are.
Don't just live and die. That's an ugly existence. Make your life matter, make your life count. Live a life where people can actually mourn you for the things you left behind, not just because you were around and existed.
We need strong black nuclear family.
Yes. Yes.
That's what it is. Mother, father, son, daughter, all in the same house with a focus on the family unit as a whole.
We had Tulsa, Atlanta, New Jersey, Detroit. We had Rosewood. We had Black Wall Streets all over.
The Republicans aren't for us, but the Democrats aren't for us either. And we should have no alliance to any political party. We only have alliance to what is in our own best interest.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations. Man up.
A place where we inform.
Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.
At the end of the day, as men in the community, we must stand together and be counted because people look to us for guidance, leadership, and protection. And if we are not about that business, we are not on our job. Here we have grown-ass man conversations in the spirit of that purpose. Anthony Malcolm, Bobby Drake, Major Gage, we are. This is Manifestations 2020.
Manifestations. Man up. Manifestations.
A place where we inform, build, and inspire.